Hey everyone, it's Anthony at Stop the Killer, and I'll be showing you how to play any hex deck in our series. In today's walkthrough, we're going to be using Silent Night, Deadly Night, but you might have Happy Birthday to Me, you might have Ghostface, we have a whole bunch of titles coming. Anyway, follow along and I'll have you up and running and playing in no time. So what exactly is a hex deck game? It's a solitaire game. It's an edge matching solitaire game. All you have to do is match some symbols to create a giant spread of cards. Can you do that? Sounds pretty easy, right? Keep watching. Every single hex deck has the exact same contents. You get center cards, conflict cards, and symbol cards. In Silent Night, Deadly Night, the center cards are Ira's toys because that's where we're starting in the game. You get 3 of those. You also get 6 conflict cards, 3 naughty cards, and 3 punish cards. Some games come with 5 conflict cards. It all depends on the game that you have, but you'll get 5 or 6. And then you also get 60 symbol cards. The object of the game is very simple no matter which hex deck you have. All you have to do is build 3 rings around your center cards by edge matching the symbols as you go. If you can do that, you win, and if you can't, you lose. Here's the setup. Choose how many center cards you want to start with. 1 card will give you a shorter, easier game, 2 cards will give you a medium game, and 3 cards will give you a longer, more challenging game. In this tutorial, we're going to be starting with 2 center cards. The 3 symbols we're using in Silent Night, Deadly Night are Killer Santa, Crazy Grandpa, and Mother Superior. Each card has a unique configuration of those 3 symbols. So when you place your center cards on the table, if you're using more than one, just make sure that the symbols are matching on the edges. After you've decided how many center cards to start with, discard any unused center cards by putting them back in the box, and then take the symbol cards and the conflict cards and shuffle them like crazy just to make sure everything's extremely well mixed. After you're done shuffling, just count 1, 2, 3 cards into your right fingers and then turn that little stack over and place it on the table. That's the card that you'll be using. Basically, on every turn, you're going to be using every 3rd card on every turn. Here's the move again. You just count 1, 2, 3, okay? And then you turn over. And when you're discarding the cards into that pile, that's known as the discard pile. Okay, so just take that card that you see facing up, that's the card you're going to be using, and place it into the spread. Just remember, when you place it, you have to edge match it. So just make sure that the symbol or symbols are matching as you place the card into the spread. You'll notice that the cards are printed on both sides, okay? The symbol configuration on either side is exactly the same. That doesn't change. What does change is the background on the card. So you can see this has like a white background, and on this side there's like a dark background, okay? The reason for this is some players like to integrate the different background colors into the game to keep track of their rings. So if you look at this example here, you could see that we have the center cards, but then the next ring is placed and they're all black backgrounds. Okay, when the next ring is placed, you'll see that we're using all the white background. And then as the 3rd ring is placed, there's a black background again. Okay, so it's to kind of keep track of your rings. It's not necessary to do this during gameplay, but hey, do what you want. You can make them all black, you can make them all white, or whatever backgrounds you have on your cards. Keep doing this on every turn and you'll see that you will be building out your spread of cards. Now, you don't need to complete 1 ring before you complete the next ring. You can build out your spread any way you want in any direction as long as you complete 3 rings around those center cards. If you can do that, that's how you win. The way that you lose is if all of the conflict cards appear in your spread before you finish completing that 3rd ring. So in Silent Night, Deadly Night, there are 3 punish and 3 naughty cards. So you can have 5 total punish and naughty cards in your spread if you can complete that 3rd ring because the 6th one hasn't shown up. But your game might have 5 conflict cards, and so you could have up to 4 showing up for you to win. So if on your turn one of the conflict cards shows up, just place that card anywhere into the spread. The good thing about conflict cards is they kind of act as wild cards. You can place them anywhere. You don't have to match any of the edges. So sometimes it comes in handy when you can't seem to find a card that's matching edges for 4 edges, say. You can just sort of fill that space there. But in general, you really don't want to see any conflict cards showing up. But place that card anywhere into the spread and then just continue playing. One last thing. When all of the cards from your left hand are now in the discard pile, just pick up that discard pile, shuffle them well, and what that does is it repositions all of the remaining conflict cards to other positions in the stack. So it kind of keeps things suspenseful while you're playing. Just continue playing, and you can do that as many times as you want until you reach the end of your game. Now, here's a tip for advanced play, and you don't have to do this on your first play. It takes a little bit of focus. You can remove a conflict card from the game as you're playing. Here's how you do that. What you want to do is surround the conflict card in subsequent turns with other symbol cards. Once it's surrounded, you'll see that the surrounded card has a symbol configuration dictated by the surrounding cards. If when you are playing the game, you come across one of the cards that matches all of those symbols, you can then swap out that conflict card with the symbol card that you're holding in your hand. So if you want to play a game that takes more concentration, just go ahead and do that, but it's not required. That's it. Now you know how to play a hex deck. Simple, right? 2 quick notes. Number 1, the cards will slide easier in your fingers the more you use them. And number 2 is you can actually turn this solitaire game into a 2-player game by just alternating who places the next card into the spread. We have a whole bunch of hex decks coming out for different IPs, and some of them are actually right here on my desk, but I can't show you them because the deals aren't finalized. But they're so fun. They're based on really cool horror movies that you love. And so if you want to know what our next hex deck is that's coming out, just sign up on our mailing list at stopthekiller.com.